Coming up on Midco Sports tonight, we're talking Summit League softball. Our Brian Shawn catches up with NDSU head coach Darren Mueller to talk about his top-seeded Bison heading into this week's conference tournament. Then a local D lineman who's made a big commitment to the Big 12. Learn all about Blake Peterson. And finally, Trick Shot Tuesday. The Trick Shot King, Matt Wilbur, has been knocked off. See who's new to the challenge this week. All of that plus much more. Midco Sports Tonight starts right now. Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Kelly Stewart and this is Midco Sports Tonight. We'll start today on the Diamond. The Summit League softball tournament begins tomorrow up in Fargo. And fittingly, the Bison women have earned the top seed and a first-round bye in this year's conference championship. So for more on that, our very own Brian Shawn has NDSU head coach Darren Mueller in studio. Brian?
All right, thanks so much. Here with NDSU softball coach Darren Mueller. The Bison will once again be the 1 seed at the Summit League softball tournament at the Ellig Sports Complex this coming weekend. And Darren, it came down to the very end. You needed 3 wins against Western Illinois in your last 3 games of the regular season. You got those 3 wins, but maybe that was a good precursor to get you ready for what tournament play is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was because, we've played a lot of games this year, but yet you really don't play in that tournament scenario a whole lot. So for us to kind of have that game, that last game, coming down to if we win, we get regular season championship, and if you lose, you don't get it. I think it was good for our team and good for our athletes to kind of have to experience something like that.
And an opportunity to play in a newly renovated facility at the Ellig Sports Complex. What a difference it has made just going out to the park. It really feels like a good home atmosphere. And I'm guessing an opportunity to host the Summit League tournament in that venue has got to be pretty special for you.
Yeah, it is. We've had a lot of good feedback too. Had a chance to talk to some people after games. They've had really a lot of nice things to say about it. We've had, it's comfortable. It's a good little atmosphere, and I think it's going to add something this weekend. And I'm excited just for the schools that haven't even been up here yet to have a chance to see that, just to see what they think.
And getting one of the 3 wins over the weekend, the one on Saturday, the second victory over Western Illinois, happened to be your 600th victory. I know you probably don't have a whole lot of time to reflect on 600 wins throughout your career here as head coach, but when will you get an opportunity to do that? When the season's completely over, will you take a week and just kind of go over it all again? Because I'm sure there's a lot of wins in your history. There's a lot of memorable ones, but it's hard to remember them all.
Yeah, I mean, I probably won't even think about it. It's something that it's right now we get ready for the conference tournament like we were talking about, and then once the season's over, you look at recruiting, look at the next thing, and then so. I mean, it's great, and I think it's something that says a lot about the athletes that we've had here and the coaches I've been able to coach with. And I don't look at those type of things a whole lot. I think it's more or less, let's just keep on getting better. And I think we still have to get better as a team and get ready for this weekend.
When you look at this weekend too, Darren, it's amazing the different styles of play in terms of what each team's strengths are. You look at South Dakota State, got pretty good power. South Dakota's got pretty good power. Western Illinois and yourselves probably rely a little more on pitching and defense a little bit. So, as a head coach, you've been through these wars enough. So how do you game plan, not exactly knowing who you're going to play when?
Oh, that's a good question. When we start a little bit today, you look at the things that we've done in the past when we played these guys in the past. We look at, like you mentioned, the South Dakota schools, they hit the ball really well. Western, we just saw them, so we know they're a little more familiar because we just played them. So, you kind of look and see who we'll match up with, and we know it's going to be Omaha or South Dakota, and kind of go back and look and see what we did well and what we did poorly against them. But it's tough, and I think that's the one thing about the preseason tournaments that kind of get us ready for this, not just us, but for every school, is, you play 5 games in a weekend against 5 different opponents at times. So you just have to be that ready at any time to play somebody, and you can't put as much, maybe, preparation as you would for one opponent a week. So we just have to kind of go back in some of our preseason work as coaches too, just to kind of get back in that, get ready for everybody, because there's a chance you can play anybody. So you might not focus as much, but since we played 3 games against most teams, we still have a pretty good idea about each other.
And I think other than last year, you really didn't have a lot of experience last year when you went into the tournament. It was a lot of opportunities for your kids in that type of atmosphere for the first time. But it seemed like as the tournament went along, they loosened up. And I think that's one thing that you really wanted to focus on with a lot of your players is just playing loose and having fun and not trying to get too caught up in all the mental things that happen. And I think your team has done a pretty good job of that over the years.
Yeah, we do. We try to, we focus on that. And I think sometimes there's too much emphasis on, people think you have to be perfect. You have to do these different things. And, it doesn't matter what you're doing out there. You have to compete while you're out there. And we want our kids to have fun, but you want to win. But you have to balance that a little bit. And, Yeah, it is tournament time. You know, it's the end of the year for almost everybody except for 64 teams really after this weekend. And you have to have fun with this. I mean, not everybody gets a chance to play in the postseason. We've been fortunate to be in the situation quite a bit, but you know, you never know what's going to happen with it. So you have to enjoy it. You can't press. You can't try too hard. I think that's something that, you know, easily can happen to people, but we just try to focus on not doing that.
Well, it was a heck of a tournament last year, and we'll look forward to another fun one this weekend at the Ellick Sports Complex. So enjoy the experience.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, Darren Mueller, NDSU softball here, joining us on Midco Sports Tonight.
Thanks so much, Brian. NDSU's first game, as they mentioned, Thursday, May 10th at noon. That's going to be live right here on Midco Sports Network. They'll be taking on that winner of Game 1, South Dakota or Omaha. We shall see. Anyways, the other team receiving a first-round bye in this year's conference tournament is none other than South Dakota State. The Jackrabbits have put together their first winning season since they joined the Summit League in 2008. They have the top offense in the league this season, and the Jacks know they have a legit shot this year at the tournament title.
Every year, I think your team gets some type of a niche, whether it's your pitchers are really solid on the mound or you're a defensive driven team or you're an offensive driven team. And I think this year, for whatever reason, I mean, our offense has been what sparked us, having big innings, scoring 4, 5, 6 runs in an inning, which, you know, is tough to do, but we just get in a rally and we get going, and then we end up, you know, scoring a ton of runs, which puts us up in the game, and then we just kind of keep that momentum on our side.
South Dakota State's first game is also Thursday, May 10th. They'll play the winner of Western Illinois and Fort Wayne, who play tomorrow. First pitch for the Jacks Thursday game is set for 2:30 p.m. from Ellick Sports Complex up in Fargo. When we come back, we are staying on the diamond. More Summit League softball talk as Brian, Shawn, and Tom Neiman join me in studio to break down the Summit League tournament. You're watching Midco Sports Tonight.
Midco Sports Tonight, presented by Avera Orthopedics.